Questions? These are your spare batteries, but I don't think you'll need them.
Thank you. And then,
And kangaroo pouch. Yeah, you can pull in. You can lose their feet, but I don't want to
lose their feet.
Yeah, you can.
Do you want me to cut it off?
Make sure your audio is still. All right, so first two guests may be headed to the stage, please. We got 4 minutes.
today, Prez, we got an extremely exciting show lined up. We got a lot of guests here today. Coming up, we have Alexa Johnson. She's going to be our president-elect for the Student Government Association. We also have Madison Johnson. She's Miss Grambling State University. So we got a lot of special guests. I don't want to give too much away. We'll hold a little bit for surprise.
We've got a great lineup and a diversity of lineup. We've got our student leaders. We'll talk academics, program, and of course our new amazing dean of the College of Business, who is my fashion hero. I just hope one day I can kind of get to his level, not only in intellect but in attire as well. But we've got a great show. Coach Jackson's here. Coach Dante Jackson is going to tell us a little bit about basketball too. So,
all right, it sounds very entertaining. I'm ready to go. You're watching Prez Says. We will be back after this break. Says again, I'm your co-host Charleston Talbert, joined here with the president of Grambling State University, Mr. Rick Gallot, and our first two guests for this segment are Alexa Johnson. She is the newly elected Student Government Association president, along with Miss Madison Johnson. She is Miss Grambling State University. I wonder if there's any relation there. I don't know, Prez.
We kind of tell people that we're cousins.
All right, very good. Well, look, thank y'all so much for coming on. We are the morning after coronation, so I understand y'all didn't sleep all night, so you're coming in here fresh from last night's coronation. Let me talk to you a little bit first, Madam President. The first female Student Government Association president in over 15 years. How has that been for you so far?
It has been amazing. It is truly an honor to serve. I'm the 9th president that's a woman out of 64, so it's truly a significant thing. It's a testament to my generation and how we push and how we're not afraid to try. So I'm just excited to work in this role and I'm just honored.
Well, now, and this isn't your first position in SGA, so was there anything that you learned or did during your year as vice president that prepared you for stepping up into the role as president?
I think as vice president, many people don't know, a vice president does a lot of work. They handle the Senate, and I just saw a lot of things that in my role as vice president I couldn't change. So I said, I'm going to try, and I'm going to make this my platform. I'm going to make sure that I'm president so that I can change the things that I've already been working towards.
And one of the things that I had an opportunity to participate with you at the Momentum conference in Baton Rouge, sponsored by the Board of Regents, which was very policy focused, and certainly I felt that you added a lot to that. So if you would just talk a little bit about the policy side of the work that you've done as a student leader. That's the side that most people would never see.
Right, so the policy side is one that our students don't quite get to see, like you said, but it is very, very important that we have a student's voice and opinion in that area, just because our outlook is different from those of our administrators. We come in and we see the difference sometimes that our administrators can't see because they're here, but we're constantly changing, we're constantly growing. So the policy side, it can be hard, it can be a lot, but it's for the betterment and it's to enhance our student body. So anytime there is something that I can do that will bring betterment and bring a sense of joy and enhance our student body, I'll make sure it's done.
So a couple other things, and then we're going to go to Ms. Grambling. But you and I meet regularly.
We do.
Which is something that we always want to make sure that we tell students, alums, and everyone else that there is, and you're always at the table when we're making important decisions. How has that been for you to be the actual voice for the students, and what is your agenda going forward for this year?
So being at the table, once again, it's just an honor. It's amazing to be where I am, and I appreciate the opportunity because you are very transparent and you let me know a lot of things that I don't think many other university SGA presidents have the honor of knowing. So I thank you for that. My agenda this year, my platform was it's our time, which time means transforming into motivational excellence. And with that, I just want to make sure that our campus is constantly moving forward. And in order to do that, we have to continue to vote. We have to focus on those things that affect our community. So my agenda is just making sure that our student body knows that we can impact change. We just have to be the motivation for our others. And we have to make sure that we are moving towards excellence.
Very good. All right, so we're going to move to Miss Grambling State University, the 70th Miss Grambling State University, Madison Johnson. You are just a few hours away from having been crowned. Tell us, how are you feeling this morning?
It is very surreal. It's very surreal. It was like a dream come true. I remember sitting as Miss Covergirl last year, and I was like, well, I hope this is me next year. So to see the full circle moment since I was Miss Sophomore until now, it's truly a blessing, and I'm so honored to be able to serve the school in this capacity and the student body, and it's a blessing. It's great.
One of the things that really struck me last night was a video clip that was shown of you. You were 7 years old?
I was 9.
You were 9. Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
9 years old, and you talked about the power
Of words.
of words.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit, for those who weren't at the coronation, which if you weren't there, you really missed an amazing event. But for those who weren't there, just to give the audience a little bit about a power of words.
So it started when I was 9 years old, and my grandmother, she lives in Lake Charles, Louisiana, and I think a girl had just committed suicide, and so it was a touchy subject, and they were like, we need somebody to come in and speak on a hot and button topic on the news. So my grandmother signed me up, and I went on the news and I spoke on the power of words and how much of an impact they hold in our lives, and why it's good to speak life and positivity and love into people. And so I just kind of carried it throughout my journey. And so running as Ms. Grambling, it really was another full circle moment, because I started this journey when I was 9 years old, and now for my platform to be breaking news. So N was networking and making connections, E, empowerment through encouragement, and then W, words, the power of our words and how much weight they hold, and that it's so real, and that it's so important to be kind to others, because you never know what they're going through, and be loving and caring and compassionate always.
So having started that at an early age, and so what is your platform going forward, and how does that tie into continuation of that work as the 70th Miss Grambling?
I think that's why I really loved my platform when campaigning, because N was for the networking and making connections, because that was the first thing I experienced here, people telling me, get involved, make sure you're staying active. meeting new people and making sure you are serving your community in the best way possible, and then joining my organization, Alpha Kappa Alpha, being able to do community service to all mankind. I think that was a great opportunity. And then E, empowerment through encouragement, was my platform as Miss Covergirl. And it was just about positivity in words as well. And then the W words when I was 9 years old. And then S was support, because I know in the African American community, emotional support is really needed and mental health is oftentimes neglected. And so I feel like that's something that we need to talk about more, because students are really struggling. I don't ever want anybody to feel alone.
Well, and one of the things that I was telling my wife when you were elected back in the spring, I said, the one thing that I really appreciate about Madison is that she's been active and involved in, of course, pageants and all of that. But you've also been very active when there were no cameras around. In particular, I was telling her about you with the kids at the kids zone at the basketball games. So what has been, I guess, your motivation to just be active and involved throughout, especially when the cameras aren't on?
I think that's just comes from how I was raised. My parents instilling God in my life and telling me, make sure you're serving others, being kind, helping the kids, helping the elderly. Like, that's really important to be around that atmosphere and just be appreciative of those people. And I love children, so it's nothing. So for me, I love being around the kids in the kids zone, working in athletics. All of it has just been an amazing experience, and just being involved on my campus and being able to serve my community. It's all I want to do.
Well, you both serve our campus and our community well, and they're telling me we're out of time. So thank you both this morning, and of course, looking forward to both of you in your respective roles of working with you this year. God bless you both, and thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having us.
Again, thank you, ladies, for showing up, and thank you for coming out with us. Up next on our next segment of Prez Says, we take a look at our newest PhD program here on the campus of Grambling State University. You're watching Prez Says. back with our next segment of Prez Says. I am Charles, your co-host, here with President Richard Rick Gallot, and we have two special guests on the stage with us. Like I alluded to before the break, we do have a new PhD program in criminology and criminal justice here on the campus of Grambling State University. So we have none other than Dr. Carletta White and Constance Hester to join us here for this segment.
So Dr. White and to Ms. Hester, thank you all so much for being on this morning. So tell us about how this whole program of criminology and justice administration came about, and just give the audience a little snapshot of what it took to get to this point.
Ooh. Okay, well, thanks. First, thank you for having us. But if we're looking back to sort of how I got started, a few years ago, well, we know all the things that are going on in society. We know what's going on with the criminal justice system, corrections, law enforcement. But a few years ago, we were looking at hosting our first major conference, criminal justice reform, closing the gap between criminal justice practitioners, those researchers, and those who are also making the policies out there. However, we looked up and we said we want to be a part of that change too that's going on in society. And we know that there are persons out there who are seeking that change, who know that they can be a part of that change. So we hit it to the road, got down a few years ago, started the proposal for the program. We knew that we had some folks, some stakeholders in Louisiana who would be interested in knowing that we had persons who were already out there in the field who would want to come back, get that degree to make certain that they could be a part of that change. So after we put that proposal out, it took us about a semester or so, and then I believe in 2022 is when it was finally, we were given the okay to get started and bring in our first cohort.
Very good. And so what do you see big picture as things that this program will do, not just to turn out and produce PhDs, but what is the work that this program will be able to produce that will benefit everyone?
So again, we have folks coming in from different areas. So it's interdisciplinary, I should say. So we have those folks who are also practitioners. But again, as you said, those who are interested in research that one can help us to eliminate some of those disparities that we see in our minority communities, right? So how is it that we can close that gap between those who are suffering in certain areas, the disparities in jobs, the disparities in the correctional system? So we want, again, to make that impact not only on the side of those where we can help the community, but more importantly, on the policy side. So we know we have students who have that desire or that passion to not only want to again, get their PhD to better their career or go a little bit further and make that stamp on that section, but also that sector for policy. And I can't stress that enough, but we have to be about the change. We have to be about seeking changes to the system that's already in place, but that we know is not perfect. So how can we be about that change?
Very good. So Ms. Hester, tell us a little bit about your background and what led you to this PhD program in criminology and justice administration.
Okay, start off, I've had a 30-year career in law enforcement. I have my undergraduate and graduate degree, both from Grambling State University. So becoming a part of this program was a natural fit for me because one, I know Grambling State University in and out, and the Criminal Justice Department has fabulous teachers and instructors that are delivering this particular program. So everything with this, adding to with my career, it only enhances everything that I want to do.
And what do you see as the practical use of a PhD? And of course, there's a lot of work that's going to go between now and when we actually put that hood on you in a couple of 2-3 years. But what do you see as your application, or what you will do with the degree once earned?
A couple of things. Currently, I do consulting work. And we go out and teach other law enforcement officers about criminal justice, how to conduct themselves in the criminal justice field. And with that, when you have the experience, it's one thing, but now to have the backing of the doctoral program, that's another thing that I can present to them. So it's like I have the educational backing and the experience. I'm also part of a program that is, they look at what Black agents in the federal government system are doing. So we want to go back and do some research going through this program will help me with my research and everything, and put proposals forward to the government so that hopefully that would affect change in them, and they can now see some of the things that we need to correct.
Very good. And let's see, the cohort size is?
So 9.
9 students. So is there anything that you want to share about your cohort, the other 8 who are in the program?
All of them are amazing. What we're doing, we're really working together. It's like, this is my new family. So we spend a lot of time together just trying to make sure everything is correct before being submitted. So because everyone is coming from different backgrounds, that only enhances everything that we're doing. So somewhere, areas that you may be weak in, your cohorts are going to help you become better in.
Was there a particular type of student you all were looking for? Or do you want to talk about the
So
cohort?
most definitely. And again, she is probably one of those students that we're seeking, but that has also sought out the program. Again, we have folks who are already practitioners. We have folks who are already in the field. We have folks in mental health, social work. And it's important to, I guess, highlight too about the program, which is what we were focusing on when we created the program. Our students who, again, are already in that field, know what's going on, see the problems, but then I want to go out, I want to work in policy analysis, right? I want to continue looking at those issues that I already see in my profession, and then how can I get those tools and resources to learn to correct them, right? And so we want to give them that research background. We want to give them that data analysis background. We want to give them that policy analysis background so that when they are going back into their field, and now that they have that doctoral work behind to go along with their experience in the profession, they're firm in their stance, and they know that the work that they're putting out there is going to help make that change.
Awesome.
So.
Well, again, I want to congratulate you and everyone, Dr. Lee and Dr. Walton, everyone who played a part in getting this program not only put together, but also through the process through not only the University of Louisiana system, the Board of Regents, and SACS. Thank you all for all of your work in getting this done. And look, thank you all so much for coming on.
Thank you
and
so
look
much.
forward to seeing great things out of this program.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, thank you ladies for joining us for this segment. Up next, we are going to have a little conversation with Dr. Warren with the College of Business. You are watching Prez Says. back with our latest segment of Prez Says. Once again, I'm your co-host, Charleston Talbert, joined with President Richard Rick Gallo and our next guest, Dr. Warren. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing fantastic.
You look fantastic. You're
Well,
sharp.
thank you. I learned from the best.
Oh no, I'm learning from you, Dr. Warren. Well, look, again, thank you so much for being on with us this morning. Look, tell the audience, of course, I've been a big fan for a really long time of you and your work, but for those who may not be as aware of your body of work and background, just give a little snippet of who Dr. Derek Warren is and who's leading our College of Business now.
But first, let me say thank you, President Gallo, and to everyone and every member of the Grambling State University family. I am extremely proud and honored to serve Grambling's phenomenal College of Business, the faculty, the staff, and especially our most precious assets, those students. In a word, I suppose I would say that I'm a passionate, seasoned technology and academic executive with nearly 40 years of experience in the technology field. 30 plus of those years I served with IBM, retiring in 2015 as Vice President of Strategy and Analytics. The last 7 years I've served as Associate Dean and Director of Graduate Programs at our sister school, the Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I am the son of educators. Both of my parents are educators and Grambling State University graduates. As you know, my uncle is Simi Holland, whose name adorns Holland Hall here on the campus of Grambling State University. My dad played football for Eddie Robb. My brother played football for Eddie Robb. My mom's first job out of college was here on the campus of Grambling. So I am, in a word, extremely, extremely tied to Grambling and consider myself a son of Grambling and a son of a son and a grandson of Grambling State University.
So your first couple of years of life,
Yes.
you lived in Grambling?
That's true, and while this may be sharing a little too much information, my mom says I was conceived
All right.
here in Grambling, and I'm extremely proud of that fact.
Goes all the way back.
Yes, it really does.
So tell us about what are your plans for enriching the educational experience for our students in the College of Business? What's the big plan look like?
Well, my goals with the College of Business are specifically tied to growing enrollment, increasing retention, increasing and improving graduation rates, improving job rates. I would like our students to all experience internships and have practical experiences before they graduate. I would like our students to receive more than just a degree at Grambling State University. In fact, I'm going to add that hashtag more than, because I believe at Grambling State University, where everybody is somebody, you'll receive more than just a degree. You'll receive access to digital credentialing through IBM, Microsoft, Google, Apple, and other companies that have educational programs and partnerships. You'll also receive, in my view, and in addition to the internships, I expect all of our students to access digital credentialing. So Dr. Walton and I are working to require our freshmen to receive digital credentialing in areas such as artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, cloud computing, data science, the Internet of Things, and quantum computing. So exposing our students to these technologies will help differentiate them in the marketplace.
Well, and you mentioned AI, and of course, faculty around the country, around the world, quite frankly, some are not, they're a little nervous about the use of AI. As a seasoned, not only business person, someone who's been in the business sector, but as one who's been in higher education as well, what are your thoughts about AI and how we can use that and our students can use it appropriately?
Well, I would tell you, I tell any and everyone that I meet not to fear AI. I said, you really don't have to fear or worry about AI. What you should be worried about is the person who understands how to use AI. That's why I want every member of the Grambling State University to embrace artificial intelligence. So we'll be offering classes that give our students, our faculty, and anyone who wants to learn a foundation in AI. As well, we'll also offer foundations in cloud, which we offer a degree program in that area. Cybersecurity, we offer a degree program in that area. Data science, which we're going to introduce more courses in data science and analytics, as well as just expose our students to all aspects of technology. I firmly believe there's no business without technology and no technology without business.
And you touched on it a little bit, but in terms of, and not just in the College of Business, but as we think about the addition of Dr. Rao in computer science and digital technologies, what other new programs can you see being ones that we can and should pursue here at Grambling?
Well, I certainly see us engaging in quantum computing. That's in a sense, the next frontier. Quantum is being pushed and promoted across the HBCU landscape specifically. I see Grambling State University become part of the HBCU Quantum Coalition. I helped Southern University become part of that coalition, and I would like to see Grambling a part of that as well. So we're actually having a meeting later this month with Dr. Rao and members of that coalition to talk about how we can expose more of our students to that specific area. The other areas, again, you've already mentioned AI. We're going to bring more AI assets into our curriculum, and not just in the areas of, in the STEM areas, but we plan to showcase these in arts. We plan to showcase these in the social sciences, because everyone needs to have a better understanding of technology.
Real quick, so for any parents who have students who may be entering college in the next year or so, what would you say is the reason why they should consider the College of Business at Grambling State University?
Well, here in the College of Business at Grambling State University, as I mentioned earlier, we plan to expose our students to experiences that will better prepare them for life after college. They will not just graduate with a degree. They'll graduate with digital credentials. They will have at least one before they graduate. If they're starting as a freshman this year, before they graduate, I plan to make it a requirement to have digital credentials in some foundational areas before they graduate. I also plan to eventually develop a program where all of our College of Business students have some type of internship experience that may be paid or unpaid. But it is extremely important that our students have practical experience, understand, I don't even call them soft skills, understand the power skills of communication, of speaking, of sharing ideas before they graduate. I also would like to see our students participate in case competitions, pitch competitions. In fact, we have one that's starting this week called the Golden Pitch, where our students will have an opportunity to win up to $3,000. And it'll be offered students through Canvas. Start looking for it. The announcement should go out today. And they'll have that opportunity to build a team, pitch their idea, and showcase their talents in that way.
Dr. Warren, thank you so much for not only being on the show with us this morning, but for all the amazing work that you're doing and will do in the College of Business. Thank you so much for coming on today.
Thank you for having me, President Gallot, and thank you to the entire Grambling State University family for everything you do to help our communities and our world be a better place.
Absolutely. And thank you again, Dr. Warren, for joining us. Up next, we take a little trip to the hardwood when we step up to the court with Mr. Dante Jackson. He is our coach for the men's basketball team. You're watching Prez Says. We'll be right back. We are back with our latest segment of Prez Says. Again, I'm your co-host, Charles Talbert, here with President Richard Rick Gallot and our special guest, head coach for the Grambling State University Fighting Tigers men's basketball team, Mr. Dante Jackson. Now, recently, Grambling State's men's basketball team traveled to Puerto Rico for a trio of exhibition games. The Tigers squared off against the best players from the LPB in San Juan, Puerto Rico. Coach, how we doing?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having me, Prez.
Well, Coach, tell us a little bit about the trip and the games and the purpose behind it all.
Well, Puerto Rico was a phenomenal trip for our guys. We actually had a chance to go out and play against former professional players and current professional players. So for us, it was really just about team building and trying to have a gauge of what our new incoming class can and can't do. But in the process of doing that, it was really just more about also educating our kids and showing them the world, showing them a bigger purpose that there's other opportunities besides NBA, besides maybe whatever you consider overseas within our own country. So whether you're playing in America, you're playing in Puerto Rico, and then the other part was just to show them the other opportunities that's there within basketball. You can go professional as the cameraman. You can go professional as the broadcaster. There's so many other opportunities that you can do as long as you assume that degree.
You know, one of the things I'm always, impressed with are the opportunities for students to travel. Can't call Puerto Rico abroad because it is a part of the United States, despite what. Anyway, I don't want to run down that rabbit hole. But tell me how the players, their experience. Were there any who flew for the first time? Were there any first experiences for some of your players?
Well, for many of them, it was the first time that they felt like they were out of the country, even though it's a U.S. territory. But it was the first time for them just being somewhere on an island and just understanding that this is doable for you. This can be part of your life as long as you go out and you achieve and you set the goals that you expected for yourself.
And what else did you all do besides just play basketball games?
So we did a few team bonding activities. You know, of course, they just enjoyed the beach. They were just phenomenally enjoying the beach. But we did paddle boarding. On top of paddle boarding, we did ATVing and we did zip lining. Okay,
very good. So you all had a good season last year. Any thoughts about last season and give us a snapshot and preview of the upcoming season?
Well, I mean, look, last season was one of the best seasons in school history. And our second regular season title that we accumulated in the six years I've been here. So it's been a great 6 years for us. But last season didn't end the way we wanted it to. We wanted the regular season trophy and we wanted the tournament trophy. So we lost by 3 points in the tournament game. That was a heartbreaker. But we got 6 seniors prepared to come back to lead this squad to get back to the same place, and our destination is holding that trophy.
Very good. And I understand there's going to be a game scheduled to play in New Jersey.
Yeah, so we're going to be participating in the Legacy Classic. I hope I'm not saying this wrong, Michael B. Jordan, he's a sponsor of it, and we're going to be playing out there, and it's going to be a incredible atmosphere. It's going to be playing Jackson State, so it's going to be Tigers against Tigers. I know these Tigers will be ready to play.
Very good. And I think there's some other activities that are going to be built into this trip with the New York Knicks. So.
Yes, incredible opportunity, especially with my relationship with Willis Reed. And, unfortunately, we had to pass, and he passed not too long ago, and that was kind of, tough for, anybody that's a basketball person as a part of the Grambling community, and probably a lot of people in the Grambling community, because Coach Reed meant a lot to all of us. It was just great for him to come fellowship with the players and just, be part of our program while he was around. But it's just great to be able to take our guys and show them one of the places he built. Not only that he was a monumental figure here for us at Grambling State, but he's a monumental figure in the NBA with being one of the top 75 players ever.
And so your team will have an opportunity to go to Madison Square Garden and watch the Knicks play?
Yes, now that's incredible. To be able to take our guys to the Mecca of basketball, It's going to be extremely, I can see those guys' eyes lit up already.
Well, and of course, we're expecting you all to bring good luck to the Knicks so they can perhaps get another championship since they haven't had one since the days of Willis Reed.
Hey, listen, I'm out of that conversation. I'm out of that conversation.
Very good. Anything else you want to tell the audience that's upcoming for the men's basketball program?
Our season gets kicked off November 6th. We just look forward to everybody coming out and supporting. We're ready to go, and we just got a lot of things prepared.
How important is it for people to come out and support the team?
Listen, it's home court advantage is everything, especially during the SWAC. We want to have this as one of the most imposing places to play. So we need all Grand family support, whether you're in Monroe, Shreveport, Arcadia, Grambling, Simsboro, wherever you are. Come out and support the Tigers because we're going to put a great product on the court again.
Very good. Coach Jackson, thank you so much for joining us this morning on Prez Says. I'll hand it back off to Charles.
All right. In our next segment, we will be right back with one of GSU's very own, and we'll get to talk a little bit about the United Way campaign that's been launched here on campus. You're watching Prez Says. We'll be right back. Looks like I forgot to turn my mic on just then, and now we're back. We are here joined with none other than Adarian Williams here with Grambling State University, going to tell us a little bit about the United Way campaign that we're launching here on campus. How we doing, sir?
Thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to join you today, President Gallot, Mr. Talbert. Glad to be here.
Good, good, good.
So you are, for the second year, heading up our United Way campaign here on the campus of Grambling State University. Kudos to you and the team for, I believe you were the coordinator of the year for United Way. Tell us a little bit about the successes of last year and about the campaign coming up for this year.
Sure. So last year, myself and our amazing team were granted the opportunity to again chair last year's United Way campaign for our university. And this campaign is more than just a fundraising effort. This is an opportunity for us to directly impact change in our community. And so last year, our employees contributed over $19,000 that goes directly into our community. And so we're looking forward to this year's campaign being as successful or even more than that. And so we kicked off our campaign this week. And of course, we were joined by many of our faculty, staff, and students who joined together to kick off this campaign. And our United Way partners, as they always do, show up to support us in this effort. And we're just looking forward to it being successful. And for those who aren't aware, United Way, they serve as a beacon of hope and opportunity within our community. And it's through their programs and initiatives targeting education, health, and financial stability that they are able to really help serve the needs of individuals and families in our community. Because truth be told, there are individuals in our community who don't have a place to lay their head at night. Our youth don't have the adequate educational resources to succeed in the classroom. And so we are just grateful for the opportunity to participate in the upliftment of our community.
And so all dollars raised here locally stay in this community?
Absolutely. They stay right here within our region. It's Lincoln, Jackson, and Ouachita parishes. But our dollars primarily stay here in Lincoln Parish and benefit programs for senior citizens, the Boys and Girls Club, the Read, Learn, Succeed program. And that is a phenomenal opportunity for second graders in our community to boost their reading skills. And we have that program going on right now at Lincoln Preparatory School. And of course, Mr. Gordon Ford has been able to spearhead and champion that effort at the school.
And of course, biblically speaking, that, God blesses us to be a blessing to others.
Absolutely.
And so not only will young people and people in our community benefit from our generosity, but we get a lot back when we give, right?
Absolutely. And, you said it, best. Be a blessing so that you will be blessed. And so we plan to do that. And that's the message around this entire effort, because our employees work very hard day in and day out. And for them to contribute in this way and see the benefits of their contributions out in the community, it's just very befitting. And we call it paying it forward, and so that's our effort. And we are merely just asking folks, because we've learned that most of the time folks don't give because they aren't asked. And so in doing that, we found that people are more inclined to give to the campaign.
Very good. And those contributions are tax deductible, correct?
Absolutely. They're tax deductible. So that's a great point there for all of our employees. And we've, of course, added on additional employees at the university. And so we are spearheading an effort to directly go and meet with them and discuss the United Way campaign with them. Because, again, the university has a history of contributing to community through service, through financial support. And so we will continue that effort. And again, it's with the work of this amazing steering committee that we've put together that, have been able to really motivate and empower our employees. And so we're thankful for each person that has contributed in previous campaigns, and a thank you in advance for all who will contribute to this year's.
Okay. Well, look, we'll just keep you here, and we'll go through a few things we want to share before we get out of here for this segment of Prez Says. Of course, we do have an election coming up, which is on Homecoming Day.
October 14th.
October 14th. So we want to encourage everyone to get registered and to vote. And of course, we've got early voting that will allow you to vote and not miss all of the homecoming activities. So again, this is very important. Our legislative races, all of our statewide races, including race for governor, is very important. So we want to encourage everyone to register and to vote. And I don't know if we'll be able to get Jordan Braithwaite on, but one of our students who's really involved here on campus in ensuring that we're doing voter registration here on campus and encouraging everyone to vote. What else do we have come? Oh, the rivalry shoe. I don't know if Paige has gotten close up on my shoe. It's selling like hotcakes, I tell you. And they're incredibly stylish and comfortable. So Adidas.com, and if you want the latest and greatest of Grambling Adidas collaboration, go get you a pair of these rivalry shoes. And of course, we're on par with many of the Power 5 schools, and no other HBCU can tout having a shoe like this and a collaboration with Adidas. And then, of course, Coach Jackson was on a moment ago with the Ultra Boost. Most comfortable shoe you'll ever put on your foot. It is definitely, it's an experience to wear that Ultra Boost shoe. So again, adidas.com, want to encourage everyone, and Grambling State University does benefit for your investment in those shoes. That comes back to us. What else do we have, Charles?
Well, Prez, when we had Coach Jackson on, he mentioned Willis Reed, one of our most notable figures from Grambling State University. So we have the Willis Reed Scholarship Endowment to benefit student athletes. That's going to be a great endowment because we need to encourage for students to continue being the student part of student athletes, and that's what this kind of endowment can definitely encourage and get going there. We also have Constitution Day, September 19th. We're going to have a speaker here for Constitution Day. One
of our associate justices from the Louisiana Supreme Court,
yes,
Justice Griffin, is going to be joining us. So that is she's only the second African-American female to serve on the Louisiana Supreme Court. So we're definitely excited about having her to come here. We will also have the Second Circuit Court of Appeal, which is headquartered in Shreveport. We'll have oral arguments where actual court cases are going to be litigated in this very room. So we're going to have some court interaction going on this semester as well.
A lot of criminal justice activity going on, which just supports the efforts that we're making with the PhD program on campus here as well.
Indeed. Tomorrow's high school day, so if you've not registered, it's something you don't want to miss, and it, of course, going to be an amazing experience for high school students who will come and get a snapshot of life at the G. So we want to encourage, if you've not already signed up to do that. We'll also have a home football game, our home opener against Florida Memorial. So of course, we're really excited about that. And let's see, homecoming, I mentioned that, coinciding with Election Day, but it's going to be one for the record books. It's going to be epic.
I'm seeing all the advertisements for the events that's going on, and I see we got the graphic up behind us with the theme of the homecoming and celebrations as well. It's going to be a great year this year, Perez. Just to go back to the high school day experience, if we have any parents of potential Tigers listening, I want to encourage you all to stop by the Mass Communications booth during high school day. I'll be there representing the Mass Communications department. We'll have podcasting equipment set up to interview potential Tigers. And I think we'll even have our board operator, DJ King, to come through and spin a little tunes for us too. So it should be a good turnout tomorrow for this high school day. Last year, it was a great turnout.
Indeed, and I don't know if I'll have my Kappa cane or if I might shimmy a little bit. So you don't want to miss out on that. We also can't forget this year is our 50th installment of Bayou Classic. So if you've not purchased your Bayou Classic tickets, the ticket sales are about 55% ahead of where we were this time last year. So we're fully expecting a sellout this year. So Grambling State University versus Southern University in New Orleans, the 50th Bayou Classic. It too will be epic and one for the record book. So if you've not purchased your tickets yet, don't wait until the last minute and call me, because we'll be, when we're sold out, we're sold out.
You definitely want to be in the Crescent City to commemorate the 50th anniversary of the Bayou Classic. If you haven't been, you are missing out. If you've been, you know what's going to go on. It's going to be a fantastic event. One thing I just want to mention before we get out of here, Prez, is Voter Education Week, September 25th through the 29th. since we're talking about election periods that's coming up on the 14th. I think that we have a couple of events that are happening on campus during that week, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Just wanted to drop that on our listening audience as well.
And we also have local elections. So the Lincoln Parish Police Jury, for those who may be from out of state, is like our county commission here. And so that there's a lot of interest in the police jury race. So they run our parish government. So we certainly want to encourage everyone not just to vote for the top of the ticket, governor and others. Definitely want you to vote on that, but also bottom of the ticket for our local races as well. Am I forgetting any that are on, Darren?
Nope, everything is great. And I just wanted to mention, to go back to United Way, for any employees that are watching, there are 3 ways to give to the campaign. You can give through payroll deduction, you can give by one-time donation, and you can also text Graham United to 91999. And of course, we'll have communication going out up until the conclusion of the campaign. And so we're looking forward to you all participating in our efforts.
And finally, we did mention homecoming. We're going to have a town hall on the 13th, which is that Friday. I want to encourage all of our alums to come and be a part of the town hall. You know, too often alums get, they hide behind the wall of Facebook and online chatter.
Right,
come in person and let's talk about Grambling State University and how the alumni can engage and help us to help our students who are here now. Don't just post it on Facebook. Let's come to the T.L. James Auditorium for a town hall, and let's work together to move Grambling forward. So I think that's all I have for today.
And just to touch on the town hall, that's a great representation of having that open communication and transparency at the university, because contrary to popular belief, the university and the entities don't see everything you post and complain about online. So you have to bring those complaints to the correct avenues in order to get the change that you're looking for.
And the thing about this year's homecoming, and it's very unique, you have an opportunity to engage in fun activities as well as informative and activities that bring awareness to certain things here at the university. So it's a great compilation of all of that.
But don't just bring complaints, bring solutions.
That's right.
I like it. All right, well, it looks like we're wrapping up here with Prez Says. Again, I'm your co-host, Charles Talbert, here with President Richard Rick Gallo. I'd like to thank you all out there for joining us, and until next time, have a good day.